Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Flame Emperor episode number 515 based on novel. So let's start. Xiao Yan, Mu Yingying and Yun Yun, who were blocked by the imprisoned cage, exclaimed in surprise. Looking through the endless void and the demon veins of the Tianshan Mountains, when looking at the faceless body of the seven-eyed evil god, there is a peculiar and fierce aura rising, which makes one's heart even more gloomy. In response, Mu Yingying's face became more and more ugly, her jade hand was clenched tightly, and a deep sense of unease filled her heart. The source of this unease was Xiao Yang, who was shrouded in the formation. The dazzling bloodstains on Xiao Yang's skin all touched the heartstrings of the two girls. Yun Yun's beautiful eyes on the side were constantly watching Xiao Yang. Looking at Xiao Yang, who was constantly being burned and tortured by the formation, there was an unconcealed worry on her pretty face. The whole body is full of evil power. But the body contains pure light attribute power. What exactly is going on with these seven-eyed evil gods? Besides, a dignified touch appeared on Duan Qifei's pretty face, and even after staring at it for a long time, there was a twitch in the pretty face. The attack that the seven-eyed evil god is currently unleashing is enough to threaten her life, and even the life and death of Li Sol territory below. Go! Boom! Mu Yingying and Yun Yun looked at each other. The monstrous offensive was launched in an instant, and the steady stream of holy flames tilted into the cage, trying to break the prison, and rescued Xiao Yang. Who? Xiao Yang fixed his eyes on the seven-eyed evil spirit that condensed forbidden techniques in the sky. With the gathering of light spots in the sky, the hairs on Xiao Yang's body suddenly stood up like a hedgehog. The light forbidden technique sung by the seven-eyed evil god was only in the singing stage, and it made Xiao Yang feel an indescribable aura of destruction. The body and spirit will be destroyed and turned into dust. After a while, Xiao Yang's body trembled violently, and scenes of dazzling flames burned like holy light, breaking through the shackles of the formation, trying to compete with the seven-eyed evil god. Xiao Yang, don't! Immediately, the majestic power all over the body gathered and surged, and the bodies of the two women who were struggling to break the cage of the devil's claws trembled and roared in shock. The two shadows slowly raised their delicate faces full of tears and grief, and roared out, with deep fear in their eyes. This is my battle. Crack. The blood of the devil was surging, and the endless evil intention that the world was not afraid of, combined with the shackles of holy flame, began to shake the suppression of the seven beams of gods little by little with a trace of losing both sides. In just the blink of an eye, the formation was destroyed, but the remaining power in the formation of this evil artifact still restricted Xiao Yang's fighting skills. Bang! The seven light beam formation that enveloped Xiao Yang's body quietly shattered, but there were still countless dense light spots surrounding his body. At that time, Xiao Yang waved his big hand, and the cage of demon claws covering the three girls exploded instantly. Xiao Yang, are you all right? Worry and heartache appeared in the eyes of the two women, and when they came to Xiao Yang, a touch of complicated emotions came out. After a while, a steady stream of holy flame force tried to pour into it. Xiao Yang, you go down. Here, we'll deal with it. After hesitating for a moment, Du Qifei spoke with a solemn expression. When Mu Yingying and Yun Yun heard the words, they nodded in the same way, apparently agreeing with Du Qifei's actions. The strength of their three daughters should not be underestimated. They are enough to deal with the seven-eyed evil god. Xiao Yang is now full of scars, and even his fighting skills are limited. Staying here, he cannot do any damage to the seven-eyed evil god. Xiao Yang did not speak. The majestic seven-color flames and seven holy patterns poured out directly from the body, and under the protection of the holy flame shawl, spread out from the sky. The sacred flame of heaven and earth violently slammed into the sky, causing the entire Tianshan demon veins to distort, as if it would collapse at any time. Xiao Yang has used his actions to prove it with the three women, telling his actions. Xiao Yang, what time is it? Do you still want to be a hero here? If you go on like this, you will die. Seeing that the two women's persuasion was fruitless, Duan Qifei stared at Xiao Yang with icy cold eyes. The jade hand surged, the umbrella of 1,000 ghosts and gods emerged, and the void around Xiao Yang's body burst out with extremely strange power. Those powers just emerged, and they suddenly drove Xiao Yang's body, ignoring them downwards. It is a pity that Du Qifei's terrifying energy was instantly extinguished under the protection of the holy flame shawl and seven holy patterns. Xiao Yang's gaze, from beginning to end, stayed on the seven-eyed evil god standing at the top of the Tianshan demon vein. What do we do? Seeing Xiao Yang's actions, Mu Yingying and Yun Yun's beautiful eyes flickered for a while, and then the dazzling holy flame, the power of reincarnation, quietly retreated into their bodies. Help me, shelter the world under this sky. This is my war. The corners of Xiao Yang's eyes loosened slightly, and then he whispered softly. The endless killing intent like furious thunder resounded throughout the sky. Okay. The two women looked at each other, and with Du Qifei, the majestic power within the three of them roared out, and in just an instant, they sheltered dozens of layers of clouds under the sky, inside and out. Since you like this kind of contempt and obliteration, then I will let you feel the anger of the master of the holy flame. A smile appeared on Xiao Yang's calm face. Since the seven-eyed evil god wanted to use the forbidden technique to obliterate him, then he let him feel the wrath of the holy flame. The wrath of the holy flame is not a beam of fluorescence in the dim stars, but a supreme blazing flame in the vast universe. The seven-colored holy flame source fire slowly flowed out from Xiao Yang's body, and the seven holy patterns began to murmur, and the endless shining sun that was enough to illuminate the entire dark universe was absorbing and gathering countless energy. Imprisonment restricts the display of his fighting skills, that only shows that the seven-eyed heretic god is afraid of himself when he is completely victorious. But the seven holy flames have already been fused into his own flesh and soul. To mobilize them by yourself, you don't need any fighting skills at all. Since the seven-eyed evil god has absolute confidence and can use the forbidden technique to obliterate himself, then he will use his own way and treat his own body use the power of holy flame to completely destroy his belief and self-confidence destroy. By the way, let those evil moths coveting the territory of the Great Thousand World see how terrifying the young heroes of this Great Thousand World are. Imitate me. Unfortunately, you don't know what the power of an angel is and what is a forbidden technique. The power of forbidden art is definitely not something that ants like you can contend against. Once the forbidden technique of light cast by this evil ***** comes, not only the Li Soul realm will be completely destroyed, but the entire ghost realm will also be completely destroyed. This is what happens when you fight against the outside world. Wait for your body and spirit to perish. The seven-eyed evil god was condescending, watching Xiao Yang's equally crazy behavior, but without any worries, he smiled lightly. Xiao Yang, who was restricted by the seven lights beam formation, couldn't even use his fighting skills. How could he fight himself? This battle was doomed from the very beginning. For the seven-eyed evil god, this is a revenge, and a holy war in which the foreign evil clan and the Great Thousand World truly declare war. It is a battle that cannot be lost. Light forbidden technique, obsidian of sorrow. Once it comes, the vast void of the ghost world will be completely destroyed. Forbidden art, I don't know how long ago, it has become the exclusive term of the kingdom of angels, and even the power of the holy sea under the kingdom of angels. The power of forbidden arts, combined with the power of angels, is comparable to the power of large, medium and small fairy arts, or even top fairy art. In the entire sky world, light spots like grains of sand continued to pour down from the sky, pouring little by little into the surroundings of the seven-eyed evil spirits. In that kind of fluctuation, it is like the wrath of the gods. The power of the gods is vast, and no one can match. Xiao Yang's eyes were indifferent, the seven sacred patterns seemed to be provoked, and the ancient divine power was continuously released, and they were slowly merged under Xiao Yang's control. What's the matter? The fusion was interrupted. Just when the seven-color holy pattern was about to merge, a touch of interference from the depths of the soul completely blocked it, and Xiao Yang's eyes couldn't help but become solemn. Is it the power left over from the seven lights array? The strange scene in front of him finally made Xiao Yang realize that something was wrong. Such a formation not only restricts the display of his fighting skills, but even imprisons his ability to fuse the seven-color holy pattern. The seven-eyed heretic god was obviously well prepared to attack. Now, Xiao Yang finally understood why the seven-eyed heretic god was so reckless. Wait, what is this? The fusion of the seven-color holy pattern failed, and it slowly fell in front of Xiao Yang. Xiao Yang's eyes suddenly shrank, and it turned out that he was able to see some strange pictures from the void surrounded by it. It was a dark and unknown world. There was no power in the whole world. There was only an ancient bronze cauldron no more than the size of a palm standing and spinning in the void. Chaos, ancient, sacred, and countless powerful forces in Xiao Yang's cognition slowly radiated from this ancient cauldron. This is where the flame god cauldron is located. The seven-color holy pattern, especially the third holy flame, was trying to merge, but it turned out that Xiao Yang found the place where the flame god cauldron existed. This Ding divine artifact stands in the ranks of the seven realms divine artifacts. Based on Xiao Yang's guess, its power is probably only stronger than that of the divine execution ruler. Listen to my call, and kill the demons with me. Xiao Yang's mind moved and prayed quietly, But with Xiao Yang's actions, the ancient cauldron seemed to be summoned and responded to Xiao Yang little by little. Dawn of the demon-breaking light, goddess of endless light, help me clean up the filth in the world. The forbidden technique of light, the light of sorrow. At the same time, the singing of the forbidden technique was completely completed, and a mighty magic sound that penetrated the entire sky resounded. Countless pure white filaments are extremely sacred, with a purifying aura like morning dew, leaning down from the top of the sky from the heavenly mountain demon. The light is like a torch, baking the heart and purifying the soul. It seems that as long as there is any evil fluctuation, it will be subject to its endless torment and erosion. The power of light silk is just the opening song. Above the head of the seven-eyed evil god, a nearly transparent white sun is quietly suspended. The sun is very special. Whether it looks or feels the past, it seems that it no longer exists. But it was this extreme contrast that made the hearts of Mu Yingying and Yun Yun tense. That luminous sun is the most destructive existence. Tear. Just the fall of the ray of light completely evaporated all the power in Xiao Yang's body, and even the energy of heaven and earth and the evil aura in the air were completely wiped out. At a glance, this sky is full of holes as if it was bitten by a greedy sacred beast. The seven-eyed evil god began to have pure white light emerging from his body, exuding an incomparably brilliant pure world light, and even behind him, the formation of angel wings was slowly forming. If he hadn't known the details of this guy long ago, surrounded by such divine power, he really looked like a human angel in charge of order. All of this will end here completely. Sunday, the sound of lamentation. He stretched out his palm and slowly dragged the luminous sun, his eyes locked directly on Xiao Yang's body and soul, making it impossible to retreat, no escape. Countless screams and growls sounded like a prisoner who committed a heinous crime repenting and apologizing for his unwillingness. But those low-pitched screams sounded just now, but they were like chains of ancient sacred light, suppressing Xiao Yang in the void. Countless points of light, the filaments of light slanted rapidly, surrounded Xiao Yang in an instant, forming a white battlefield. Xiao Yang's body was restrained and suppressed in the core of the battlefield. The light and shadow flew away, and the world above the entire sky began to become illusory and broken, and it seemed that it could not withstand the blow of the sun. Lunian started to move, and shot towards Xiao Yang little by little. The sliver of light that was driven along the way turned into an endless sacred flame at this moment, and launched the most severe whipping on Xiao Yang's body, skin, and soul. The huge forbidden technique composed of billions of rays of light is no less powerful than the category of top immortal techniques. When they were in the ghost realm, the power of the forbidden arts performed by the demon of light and others was only comparable to that of the little fairy. Now the power of the forbidden arts performed by the seven-eyed evil god is too powerful, enough to overwhelm Xiao Yang. Sinner, completely obliterate this again. The power of angels, the forbidden technique is indeed a very powerful power. Xiao Yang narrowed his eyes slightly, but did not make any move. He knew that no matter what, he couldn't escape the shackles and struggles of the battlefield. Because he is carrying a demon, his fighting skills are restricted. At this moment, he is like a demon who is hated by countless creatures in the world, and is undergoing inhuman torture. The rays of light surged and seemed to form a shackle of light, which completely imprisoned Xiao Yang's body, skin, soul, and all other forces. The rays of light were like molten flames, and they whipped mercilessly, burning Xiao Yang's skin, flesh, and bones, performing the most sacred baptism and punishment on Xiao Yang. The power of the forbidden magic of light attribute makes time. The void is long and strangely twisted. Without the power of demons, Xiao Yang would still have the opportunity to resist. Unfortunately, demons and angels are two completely different concepts. Being able to die under the forbidden technique of light cast by this evil ****** is worthy of your identity as a descendant of the Xiao clan. Listen to the destruction. The seven-eyed evil god roared like crazy. In his faceless face, the original appearance was slowly transformed, and 7 evil eyes floated in it, as if admiring his proud work. The light of the sun was approaching little by little. Xiao Yang only felt that he was being restrained and bound in the battlefield of the sky. The flesh and blood on the skin became blurred, and a trace of blood flowed out uncontrollably. It seemed that all this was your own fault. Despair, death, and other auras filled his mind. I'm a demon, and I'm also a descendant of the Xiao clan. I don't regret it. Even at this moment of life and death, Xiao Yang actually slowly revealed a smile, and then the demon blood in his chest began to boil and tremble. In front of the chest, the 7-color holy pattern wriggled, seemingly spanning endless time and space, summoning an extremely ancient bronze cauldron from the distant world on the other side. That is, the flame god cauldron in its true form. The power of the forbidden technique is like a rage in the sky. Countless strands of light that are blessed by the power of angels fall down, mercilessly attacking Xiao Yang for the last time, and the execution obliterates everything about Xiao Yang. The luminous sun of light transformed by the light forbidden technique whistled past the void, and the whole world showed a morbid distortion. In just a moment, it was getting closer and closer to Xiao Yang, and the screaming and roaring sounds around the luminous sun continued to erode and torment Xiao Yang's soul, makes Xiao Yang unable to do anything to deal with it. Seven-eyed evil god's attack of this level is undoubtedly trying his best, and he is ready to obliterate Xiao Yang again, the imprisoned void of the battlefield of the sky, because it cannot withstand the supreme holy power of the forbidden technique of light. It slowly twists and shatters. The light of the sun shines on the entire sky, and all the power in front of the forbidden technique, but it seems so cowardly. The pure light emanating from the luminous sun did not allow the pollution of any force in this world to interfere, and it approached Xiao Yang little by little, killed him, and devoured everything Xiao Yang had. When the Sunday forbidden technique came, it seemed that all the rays of light in this world had turned into endless sharp blades of light, and the continuous attacks were destroying Xiao Yang. The battlefield of the sky shattered and disappeared in an instant. Countless screams and pure threads of light fell, mercilessly distorting Xiao Yang's skin and soul. Luminous sun finally approached the top of Xiao Yang's head, and wisps of pure white light rippling out, mercilessly blasting away at Xiao Yang. Do not. At the moment when the forbidden technique hit the sun, a hysterical roar burst out from the figure standing quietly in the sky below. The luminous sun quietly bloomed above Xiao Yang's head like a star in the universe. There is no need to describe it too much. The pure light is like a asterisk of death. The blood sputtered out at this moment, the thin black shadow was like a shriveled flower, and the whole body was filled with a tragic look, and even all the vitality in the body was fading at an amazing speed. That is the power of forbidden art. The forbidden technique of light, which is cast with the power of the seven-eyed evil god and the sixth reincarnation rank, is powerful and mighty, destroying the sky and destroying the earth. Xiao Yang. At this moment, Mu Yingying and Yun Yun's hearts finally poured into indescribable panic, their delicate bodies trembled, their slender bodies moved directly in the void, and the red expressions in their eyes were about to burst open. In the blood-red eyes, there was an unparalleled breath of distress and anger. Xiao Yang, this liar. At that level, the forbidden technique of light, he could not resist at all. If the remaining power of the forbidden technique is allowed to disperse, Xiao Yang's corpse will be completely destroyed. Xiao Yang, you big liar. You can't die. The two women flickered one after the other, and instantly came to the latter's side. They stretched out their icy arms to embrace Xiao Yang's body. But at this time, Xiao Yang, like a cold corpse, did not respond at all. In the withered corpse, it seemed that even the soul was instantly wiped out by the forbidden technique. The flesh and blood became blurred, and countless pure white forbidden light filaments on the skin were attached to it, and huge blood holes were pierced through the chest and skin. The blood holes stretched out, and the bloodlines of the Xiao family, even the bloodlines that became more and more strange and evil, were beating slightly at this time, as if they were sheltering and calling for some kind of evil spirits. Could it be that someone as powerful as Xiao Yang fell under the forbidden technique of the seven-eyed evil god? The crisp sound of broken bones emerged, the flesh and blood were instantly eroded and festered, and the entire body was silent. No matter how you looked at it, it looked like a dead person. Ha ha ha. This is the end of fighting against us outside the territory. Xiao Yang is dead, we won this war. Until it was completely confirmed that Xiao Yang's anger had turned into nothingness, the evil eyes of the seven-eyed evil spirit surged, and a touch of ecstasy poured into his heart. She finally avenged Liu Huishuang's ancestors. These filthy humans will eventually pay for their crimes. Whether it is the Xiao clan, or the poison god, or even the kingdom of angels that claims to be above everything, sooner or later, they will pay a heavy price for their stupid behavior. The icy corpse floated quietly in mid-air, suspended behind the two women, and a trace of firefly rose quietly from the depths of his chest like a firefly that could go out at any time. Bang! The girl in front of the icy corpse, originally with long black and beautiful hair, has now turned into a strange and light blue. Her mind is blank, and some only spread to extreme anger. Yun Yun didn't say a word, she took Mu Yingying's cold arm with her slender hand. No matter how the latter struggled and roared, she never showed any sign of letting go. What are you doing? Let me go. In Mu Yingying's azure blue eyes, there was a sour roar, and her beautiful eyes stared at the seven-eyed evil spirit who sneered wildly above the sky, and roared at Yun Yun beside her without looking back. He wouldn't want to see this situation. Yun Yun shook her head, and a miserable smile appeared on her calm face for the first time. I am Xiao Yang's wife. Mu Yingying seems to know that what she has done is very little. But at this moment, there is no other way. You are not his opponent. Yun Yun chuckled lightly, looking at the cold corpse behind her with some nostalgia. In Yun Yun's perception, Xiao Yang was never the kind of arrogant person who would brag about haiku. But now this scene really made Yun Yun's heart become cold. I won't die easily. At least I'll let you get out of here safely. Mu Yingying spoke with a solemn tone. She knew that the next thing was difficult, but she had to do it. Who? Let's go together then. The conversation between the two girls froze in an instant. A bleak face appeared, the delicate body slowly trembled, the fire of holy flame and the power of reincarnation boiled together. This breath is not right. In an instant, Duo Chifei in the distance just wanted to make a move, but the 1000 machine ghost umbrella in his arms conveyed a touch of cold horror to Duo Chifei's heart. It seems that there is a creature more terrifying and evil than the seven-eyed evil god, and it is waking up little by little. Boom! A ripple of energy spread silently from the side of the two girls, and immediately turned into an extremely docile force, protecting the two girls. Xiao Yang? Feeling such familiar energy fluctuations, the bodies of the two women stopped abruptly and stood on the spot, tears dripping uncontrollably, and their voices choked and hoarse. Looking at the corpse that had already become cold in front of him, at this moment, a brilliant light was actually blooming, and countless flames roared out again, forming a holy flame of tens of thousands of feet. The blood on the skin and body was instantly replaced by a smear of blood and ink. The whole corpse seemed to be revived. Even if the residual divine might of the light forbidden technique still remains in this world, it does not affect Xiao Yang's recovery at all. Rebirth. The path I chose, I have never regretted it. Suddenly, an extremely violent shock wave erupted from Xiao Yang's body, and the whole person instantly came to life. The huge force bounced the bodies of the two women apart. The 7 colored flames slowly burned, turning this fiery world into a scene of flames. At this time, Xiao Yang's endangered body was slowly recovering. Countless flame powers poured out from Xiao Yang's body, and then injected into his body again, repaired, and filled Xiao Yang. Whether it is the body that was destroyed by the attack of the forbidden technique, or the limited soul power, now it is restored to its original state. It seems that the attack of the seven-eyed evil god just now no longer exists. It did not cause any substantial damage to Xiao Yang at all. No. Impossible. How could you survive from the power of forbidden magic? At this moment, in the face of the seven-eyed evil god, the endless panic poured out, and even the voice became roaring. In this world, is there an existence that cannot be obliterated by the forbidden technique of light? Is there really an existence in this world that cannot be obliterated by light forbidden techniques? The light forbidden technique is the purest divine power in the great thousand world, and it has a very terrifying suppression for the powerhouse of any attribute. The seven-eyed evil god has unparalleled self-confidence, and the attack he unleashes now can definitely obliterate any powerhouse under the 6th reincarnation rank. What's more, in order to make a change, he did not hesitate to use the 7 lights beam formation to completely suppress and seal the power of Xiao Yang's fighting skill. But with so many preparations, it seems like a waste of time. Xiao Yang in the sky looked contemptuous, countless holy flames constantly replenishing his body. He has been revived from the obliteration of the forbidden light. Xiao Yang did not respond, but smiled lightly. Protected by the power of the devil and the power of immortality, he himself is an existence close to immortality. The power of the light forbidden technique just now was indeed powerful, but it stimulated the power of the devil that had been quiet in Xiao Yang's body. The power of forbidden light is powerful, but it's useless to me. Xiao Yang's broad palm landed on the delicate bodies of Mu Yingying and Yun Yun at the same time, feeling two cold and sour eyes, looking at each other. Just now, he was indeed on the verge of death, but the words and deeds of the two women all fell into Xiao Yang's mind and lingered. I am sorry. After hesitating for a moment, Xiao Yang was the first to speak. There won't be another time. The two women's icy eyes relaxed slightly, and then their beautiful eyes turned red. They slowly left the sky and returned to Du Chifei's side. The three women jointly maintained the energy barrier, so that all the battles here would not be affected. Li Soul domain below. Don't run away. The body and figure recovered instantly, and Xiao Yang immediately looked at the seven-eyed evil spirits fleeing everywhere, and said with a smile. In order to use the forbidden technique of light, the seven-eyed evil god has already deprived him of all the evil power in his body, and the forbidden technique of light could not obliterate Xiao Yang. Now he is defeated. I don't know where I'm looking wrong. At this moment, the old body of the seven-eyed evil god stayed in the air, looking at Xiao Yang, who was still in front of him with holy flames, and said weakly, "You have walked a road of no return. With my power, gather the power of the heavens and the earth, and the god of fire will appear." The sea of fire was boiling and rolling, and with the appearance of Xiao Yang's majestic voice, one after another holy flame volcanoes emerged in the whole world. After a while, Xiao Yang opened his palm slightly, and an ancient bronze cauldron slowly drifted away towards the seven-eyed evil god. It was light and fluttering, without any trace, but it made people feel that they were irresistible. The power contained in this ancient cauldron seems to be more terrifying than the forbidden technique of light just now. Die! Then I'll drag you both to be buried with you like this. The seven-eyed evil god raised his head, his face filled with the last madness. The ancient and heavy bell rang, and the 7 sacred patterns seemed to be summoned, and instantly fell into the pattern holes of the flame god cauldron. Immediately, a terrifying flame roared out, smothering the seven-eyed evil spirit's attempt to self-destruct in an instant. "You, where exactly are you, holy?" The seven-eyed evil god was not running away, even if he was deeply trapped in the flame god cauldron and was purified by its constant burning. The huge evil eyes were still filled with an unbelievable look. "I am a devil." Xiao Yang said something softly, and then the deep eye mask suddenly turned into a monstrous blood ink color. Boom! The flame god cauldron was injected with 7 holy patterns, and the cauldron god instantly became huge, and an ancient flame snake condensed from the 7 color flames appeared. The ancient flaming snake looks like everything. As soon as it appeared, it released bursts of 7 color flames, tearing up and stirring the sky at will. The 7-colored flame snake's icy eyes stared at the seven-eyed evil god, and the ancient and vast sacred sound of heaven and earth emerged in the flame god cauldron. His power, his life, were being disintegrated little by little. Evil. Devil. The last trace of the evil sound of the seven-eyed evil god fell, and the entire body was swallowed up by the power in the flame god cauldron and destroyed. The raging flames burned, and the residual evil power in the entire sky world and the fluctuations left by the forbidden technique were swallowed together and refined. Inside the flame god cauldron, the consciousness of the seven-eyed evil god and so on was completely burnt out. There was only a nearly pure white light group inside the cauldron. No matter how it was baked, it could not be destroyed. "Two ladies, I've made you worry." After doing all this, Xiao Yang returned to the bottom of the sky world and surrounded himself with the 2 women again. The scene just now was shocking. The strong man in the kingdom of angels itself is a great supplement to the power of the soul. Although this guy joined the extraterritorial and became one of the evil gods, but now after the refining of the 2, the remaining soul source will be of great benefit to you. Looking at the flirtatious appearances of the 3 people on the side, Duan Chifei coughed dryly, then shook his head, ready to go down. Now that the seven-eyed evil god has fallen, it is time for this war to end completely. But looking at the intimacy of the 3 of them, Duo Chifei was very envious. But she had already made a decision in her heart, and naturally she would not interfere with Xiao Yang again. They, so far, will only be friends, and only friends. At least, as a friend, you can completely preserve those good memories from the beginning. Practice. Watching Duo Chifei leave, Xiao Yang waved his palm, and the flames poured into the flame god cauldron like thunder and lightning, constantly refining the source of the soul. The source of the 7-color holy flame and the fusion of the power of the holy pattern can allow Xiao Yang to temporarily communicate with the chaotic void that exists in the flame god cauldron, and can temporarily borrow this supreme artifact. The only flaw is that the flame god cauldron can only be summoned once a month. It seems that after the matter at hand is over, you must go to that chaotic void and retrieve the flame god cauldron. It's over. After finishing this scene, Xiao Yang heaved a heavy sigh of relief, and immediately threw himself into the arms of the 2 women, ignoring the origin of the evil ***** that was slowly refining the flame god cauldron. Love the country, and love the beauty more. The entire sky world gradually became calm, but no one noticed that a slightly dim dark pattern, like a shackle, was slowly drawn along the entire ghost world. It seems like the passage through which the entire ghost world connects with the cracks in the planes of the evil races outside the realm, as well as the countless passages from the ghost world to the Great Thousand World, seems to be quietly shrouded and isolated by some power. In addition to this, in the demon sea below, the roar of the demonic sound continued to emerge, and the endless flames of war emerged in the high sky of the demon sea and Li Soul domain. Even without the leadership of the half-evil gods, the Heiju Wang and other powerhouses, the army of the evil clans from outside the realm is like a flood of beasts, killing many powerhouses in the Lihuan realm one after another. There is no loss of the commander and panic a feeling of Weird. Or, the seven-eyed evil spirit is not the real commander of this group of foreign evil tribes. The ruler, is it someone else? High in the sky of Li Sol territory, in the endless sea of devils, there are still waves of terrifying fluctuations in the mind, and the sounds of angry fights and roars continue to impact the heartstrings of everyone today. It seems that this catastrophe is not over yet. Your Majesty Lei, there are not many coalition forces left in our current coalition. Even the many coalition forces brought by the Endless Fire territory have lost countless troops. If this continues, I am afraid that Li Sol territory will soon fail. On the altar of Li Huanyu, a group of senior leaders who were in charge of commanding spoke to the Thunder Lord with a solemn expression, and the worries in their eyes were very complicated. At all costs, we must protect the last land here. And, the presiding judge, didn't you all want to take the holy flame from Xiao Yang's body? It's even listed on the must-kill list. It's really ridiculous to rely on others now. Lord Lei snorted coldly, and his grey eyes slowly stared at the elders at the head. She is not Du Chifei, and she will not be as weak and accommodating to others as Du Chifei. Although these guys are the real high-level people of Li Sol domain. For the powerhouses at the level of the Thunder Master, these powerhouses may have been killed by him long ago. But because of this, the generals who followed the Thunder Master in the ancient times were all flesh and blood men. After being so blatantly exposed by Lei Master, several people dared not make a sound, and could only wait for her order quietly. But what Lei Zhu said was true, which made these old men blushed. In the sea of magic. In that sticky and strange sea of magic, there seems to be some kind of aura that makes Thunder Master feel familiar. But that kind of fluctuation disappeared in a flash, extremely weak. Teacher. The seven-eyed evil god has completely fallen. Du Chifei fell from the sky world, returned to the altar, and said softly, "Falade." When Master Lei heard this, he nodded slightly, but felt that something was not right, but more was surprised. Xiao Yang was only able to kill the seven-eyed evil spirit with the strength of the 6th level reincarnation rank just now with the mere strength of the 5th level reincarnation level. A leapfrog battle? What kind of skill is needed for this? Impossible. If the seven-eyed evil god has fallen, then why are there no signs of defeat in the countless evil armies in the Devil's Sea? Even the current offensive is more intense than before. This information from the Domain Master, I am afraid. The leaders of the command, several old men, heard the words, headed by the Chief Judge and the Chief Judge, and directly denied Du Chifei's intelligence. The seven-eyed evil god was completely obliterated by Xiao Yang, the lord of the Endless Fire territory. Could this kind of thing be made up by the owner of this domain? Duo Chifei snorted coldly, not showing any expression to these old men at all. At the beginning, many things in Li Huanyu were controlled by these two guys, so they made a lot of mistakes. Although Duo Chifei had already cleaned up the interior of Li Huanyu, but these leaders were very important to Li Huanyu. After all, they did not succeed in dismissing them, thus leaving hidden dangers. For a while, the entire altar was full of opinions, but no matter what the situation was, the Thunder Lord did not interfere too much with Du Chifei. Du Chifei is her disciple and her reincarnation, but Lei Lord still hopes that she can handle many things by herself, so that she can become a strong individual in the future. There is another kind of guess. The seven-eyed evil god is not the final commander of the foreign evil clan army. With such a tense situation in the altar, Yun Qi, who has always been quiet in charge of maintaining the shelter, came out. What? As soon as these words came out, there was a dead silence in the entire altar, because everyone knew what Yun Qi meant. That is, among the evil races outside the realm, is there someone stronger and more terrifying than the seven-eyed evil god? Boom. Your Majesty Lei Lord, Domain Lord, all your lords, the big thing is bad. Our water-based legion and thunder-based legion under Li Sol territory have been completely destroyed in the Demon Sea army. Now they are like a man-eating flood and beasts, launching a desperate attack. Our coalition forces have already I can't stand it anymore. The last 10 minutes. The advantage that was finally established will collapse in an instant. The ancient formation of the altar was surging, and a blood-stained Li Hunwei burst out. The low voice was transmitted to the ears of many high-level officials in the altar, which seemed very clear and solemn. Chi Fei, the headquarters of Li Huanyu will be handed over to you. I will take a look in the Sea of Magic. After Master Lei finished speaking, he moved quickly and resolutely. There is always an illusion that this battle is not over. Looking at the distant Thunder Lord, Yun Qi could only shake his head slightly. But now, her whole mind is obviously focused on Xiao Yang, and she doesn't care about her feelings. It seems that she is just for the illusory past and present. Is that kind of thing non-existent, or is there another mystery? Domain Lord, how is the sea doing now? Li Hunwei quietly crouched on the altar, waiting for the order. Whether to advance or retreat depends entirely on one sentence here. If it's true that the heretic god has fallen as the domain master said, then the army in the Sea of Devils is nothing to be afraid of. Such a ferocious attack is just a counterattack before they die. Unite the power of the endless fire domain and attack together. The Devil's Sea is bound to catch them all at the fastest speed. After the chief judge and several leaders discussed in a low voice, they actually ignored Du Qifei, the domain master, and issued orders to Li Hunwei. Unite with the Endless Fire region allied forces, retreat, and free up the void battlefield outside the headquarters formation. Call all those with strength above the reincarnation rank to guard the last paradise, and leave the rest to us. Du Qifei made a slight voice, which was obviously a move made under consideration. Forge Qifei. What are you afraid of? Now is the best time to pursue the victory and delay the fighters. Who can afford this responsibility? The presiding judges were directly angry, and they pointed directly at Duo Qifei and cursed. After all, they have something to rely on. Many forces in the Court of Justice and the Court of Justice are their cronies. Qifei, the domain owner, is just a false name. The teacher is right. As a commander, you can never become weak and let others be slaughtered. Just stay here with peace of mind. If you don't agree, then, die. The faint voice, combined with the 1,000 machine ghosts and God's umbrella, formed a gigantic majesty, suppressing them. Until this moment, cold sweats broke out in their hearts. In the past, they were able to restrain Duo Qifei's dominance by virtue of being the elders of Li Soul Realm and controlling countless confidential resources. But now, the sky of Li Soul Realm is completely changed. One order after another, orderly poured out of Du Qifei's mouth. Strange, why haven't I seen the 10 ghost kings in the center of the ghost world, and those ghost world powerhouses who are under the control of foreign evil races? Yuan Yang raised her fat and tender face, and kept maintaining the operation of the formation, but there was some bad omen in her heart. I hope I'm overthinking it. After a while, she looked up at the sea of magic, and a ray of grey thunder burst into it. The little girl Yuan Yang shook her head, urging the formation pattern, and continuously resisting the erosion of those demonic energy. This video will end here.